Welcome to the Tabletop Empire. My name is Nate, and today we'll be covering everything that you need to know about the economy in Star Wars RPG. Not gonna lie, this chapter is a doozy to read through with a lot of complicated rules and whatnot, so I'm gonna make this as easy as possible for you guys to understand. To those who are new here, this is part of a larger ongoing series where we're breaking down the entirety of the core rulebooks, going over all the core concepts, and making it easy to absorb and understand for maybe new players and new GMs. If you haven't seen those videos yet, I'm gonna put a link into the description so that way you can easily find those videos if you want to go back and watch them. Okay, that's enough of the intro. Let's dive on into Chapter 5. Let's start with the basics. Money in the Star Wars galaxy are commonly referred to as credits. In Star Wars RPG, this is a universal term covering everything from local currencies to the galactic, imperial, official credit system. All are interchangeable and they can be carried physically as coins or bills or on digital cred sticks called chips. Try to say that 5 times fast. Digital cred sticks called chips. You don't want to know how many takes it took me to get that. Each of the 3 core rulebooks will have some extra info at the front of the chapter specific to that book's setting. Edge of the Empire will have info on criminal and underworld uses and motivations. Age of Rebellion has info on spending money when part of the rebellion, as well as purchasing supplies and info on allied corporations. Force and Destiny has some info on what a Jedi's view towards money may look like. I would recommend going and reading through these just little bits of info to get a better understanding of your character's attitude towards spending and earning credits in the galaxy. When spending credits, some items will be harder to find than other items, and this is typically determined by the item's rarity. Rarity will scale from 0 to 10, with 0 being the easiest to find and 10 being the hardest to find. The players will use a negotiation check when trying to find an item on world, and the Game Master may allow an appropriate knowledge check instead. You can use the book's table 5-1 to determine the difficulty of finding this item based on its rarity, and table 5-2 for rarity modifiers, which can make an item either more or less rare due to different circumstances on that world. Though the GM may create their own modifier to meet this situation, and modifiers can bring the rarity above a 10. And each number above a 10 will upgrade 1 difficulty dice. So 12 rarity would roll 2 red and 3 purple dice. So as an example, if the player is buying a thermal detonator which has a rarity of 8, they would roll 4 purple dice to see if they can find it. If the circumstance on that world makes them, -1 rarity difficulty to find, then rarity goes down to 7, making the check only 3 purple dice to find. An important thing to note, however, is that an item's availability or easy to findness shouldn't only be determined by the dice. The GM will also have a say in this matter as well. If you hear a screaming baby in the background, my child is having his diaper changed. I'm gonna try to wait until he calms down. While we wait for my baby to stop crying, blast that like button. It really helps the channel out. Thanks. Not all items are available on all planets. Some places might outlaw certain weapons or goods, and trying to find these items on the black market would require dealing with criminals and greedy thugs. The GM will be the one to determine which items are legal or not on that planet. There are items that are always illegal, and these are marked with an R in parentheses for restricted. If you're trying to find an illegal item, this would require a streetwise check instead of a negotiation check. Truly exotic and illegal items, such as, a rare or exotic animal, can be sold for much higher value, but these are typically going to be set based on the story itself, which means again it's going to be determined by the GM. Now onto the actual selling rules. Player characters can typically sell items for 1/4 of their cost. If it is a legal item, then you roll a negotiation to sell. With 1 success, you sell at 1/4 of the listed cost. With 2 successes on the check, you sell at half of the listed cost. And with 3 successes or more, you sell at 3/4 the cost. If the item is illegal, then you sell with streetwise instead of negotiation. When selling illegal items, if you roll 3 or more threat, or a despair, something will go horribly wrong. Maybe the buyer tries to rob the character, or maybe law enforcement arrives, and those are just 2 examples. Sometimes the players may want to engage in what's called trading, where you buy a bunch of items in bulk in one system and then travel to another system where these items are rarer and sell them in bulk again. And this will work the same whether the item is legal or illegal. So when determining the sell price based on negotiation, first, you multiply the cost by the difference in the item's rarity between where the item was bought and now being sold. Multiplier for this is going to be found in table 5-3. Then you take the new increased cost and determine the sell price by negotiation. That's really complicated and hard to understand, so let's break this down. Billy buys 10 blasters for 1,000 credits each. He goes into the next system where the rarity is 2 higher, or +2, meaning that there is a ×2 multiplier. So the blasters are now at 2,000 credits each. Billy then rolls negotiation to sell and rolls 1 success. So he sells for a quarter of the price at 500 each, meaning he lost 500 credits per blaster. But let's say instead Billy had rolled 3 success, and now he's selling each blaster for 3/4 at a total of 1,500 each, meaning he makes 500 profit per blaster. So there is some risk and reward here. These rules only apply to trading, so if Billy were to go back and buy a blaster from the same place later, it would be listed at the usual listed price. And one last important thing to note is that these rules do not account for everything. These rules are not the end-all be-all. The GM has the final say in everything when it comes to buying, trading, or selling. All of these rules can be modified and changed by the GM if that's how they think it would improve their game. Next video, we're going to be going over everything that you need to know for gear, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you found this video helpful, like I said before, please blast that like button, it really helps us out. Thank you for watching, I will see you guys in the next one, and as always, may the Force be with you.